Make yourself comfortable and allow your body to relax and your eyelids to get heavy and start to close. Feel your breath as it goes in and out. Take 2 deep breaths, and as you breathe, make sure you breathe all the way in to your belly and breathe slowly all the way out. With one more deep breath, you will be transported into your imagination to the magical world of Elvaria. Take that deep breath now, in and out, and you find yourself standing at the base of a very tall tree. It's a very wide tree as well. If you tried to hug this tree, your arms would not reach around it. Not even if you had another friend hugging the other side. It would probably take about 10 friends to reach all the way around this gigantic tree. It must be very old. This tree is right in the middle of a clearing in the forest. It stands here all by itself. Its bark is dark brown and very thick and rough. As you gaze upwards, looking at this tree stretching far into the sky, you think you can see something at the top, something unusual that doesn't ordinarily grow in a tree. You suddenly realize that you can feel something in your hand. It's a pair of binoculars. Well, that's very convenient. You hold the binoculars up to your eyes and look again towards the top of the tree. Oh, now you can see it. It's a tree house, and a very large and fancy one at that. In fact, it's so large it looks like an actual house. A small house, but bigger than a normal tree house. You wonder who lives there. You decide to walk around the tree to look for some clues, but all you can see at first is the grass around the tree and just ordinary things that you find in the grass. Some rocks, leaves, a few purple toadstools. That's pretty cool. As you walk around the tree, you can see some animals around the place. You hear the birds tweeting, and you can see a few blue wrens flying and flittering through the forest at the edge of the clearing. A bright blue butterfly flutters straight past your face, so close that you can almost feel the little movement of wind on your face from the flap of its wings. It's so very gentle, you're not sure whether you felt it or imagined it, but either way, it's very special. That does not happen very often, and it's important to appreciate the chance encounters that we have in nature. you continue walking around the tree. It's so very large, this tree. And most of it looks ordinary, just the bark, just the same as where you started. But as you come around, almost reaching the spot where you started, you see something very unusual and exciting indeed. There is a door in the side of the tree. It's a forest green door designed to blend in with the colours of the forest. And this door is just tall enough for you. It has a shiny golden handle and a golden knocker right in the centre, in the shape of an owl. Well, you would really love to know who lives here. And if you're very lucky, they might even show you the treehouse. The view from up there must be amazing. So, you take the golden owl knocker in your hand. It feels quite cold to the touch. And you lift it and knock 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. And immediately you hear a noise. It's the noise of footsteps coming down, down, down. The noise getting louder and louder, closer and closer. A few bangs and clashes and clutters as someone rushes down and opens the door. In front of you stands a young wizard. He is wearing a green hat and green clothes. He looks very surprised to see you standing there, but after a moment of surprise, a smile spreads across his face. Ah, just like everyone else in Elvaria, this wizard is clearly very friendly and kind-hearted. You say hello and introduce yourself, telling the wizard your name and that you've just seen this tree house up in the tree and you're very curious about it. Does he live there? The wizard says that his name is Finn, and yes, he lives here in this magical tree house. Finn tells you that he helps all the creatures of the forest. They can come to him for help if they need it, and he can use his magic for whatever they need help with. The rest of the time, he spends his time crafting pretty little things, little wooden toys and wooden carvings, sometimes making cushions and blankets and clothes and just all sorts of things that help the creatures live a good and happy life. Finn tells you that if you're curious about the treehouse, he can show you it if you would like. Oh yes, you would like that very much. The only thing is, there are a lot of stairs, unless you get some help to reach the treehouse. Finn tells you to take a step back and give him some space. He takes out his wizard's wand and waves it. Sparkly silver light starts to shimmer and glow and flies up into the air beside you, forming the shape of an owl. This magical owl spell grows as large as you are, and the silvery magic owl ground and stretches out its wings. Finn climbs aboard its back and looks at you with a grin. "Hop on," he says. "We'll be at the top in no time." Goodness. Well, you climb on to this owl, and although it is made of a shining, silvery, magical light, it still feels solid beneath you. And as it flaps its ginormous wings, you and Finn fly up into the air, up past the big branches of the tree, past the leaves and all the way up to the very top, to the magical treehouse. The treehouse has a balcony that goes all the way around it, and the owl lands on the balcony. You and Finn climb off, and with a wave of his wand, the owl disappears. The treehouse itself is made out of wood, the same colour as the tree, and it blends in quite nicely. Finn walks through the wide open doorway, and as you follow him, you look around. You are in a lounge room that has a cozy, colourful couch, a small coffee table that has a few books of spells on it. You know they are books of spells because each one says Book of Spells on the front and on the spine. There is a kitchen off to the side and a dining table as well. Almost everything is wooden, if it can be, like the bench tops and the dining table and the coffee table. There is a little set of wooden stairs that you assume leads up to a bedroom of some sort. Finn leads you straight out some doors on the other side, where there's a table outside, some chairs, and then further along the balcony, a few couches. He walks over to them and sits down, and you realise you forgot to look at the view before. You join Finn, and before you sit down, you stand near the balcony railing and look out over the forest. You are high up in the treetops. This is the tallest tree of the forest, so you are looking down at the forest canopy with the dark green leaves that all blend together and form like a sea of trees stretching off into the distance, where you can see mountains and an ocean far away. You can see birds flying above the treetops, and you see an eagle circling in the sky and watch as it flies down to one of the trees, where you can even see its huge eagle nest. It's such a lovely day. As you stand here, the sun gets brighter and warmer, and you sit down on the couch with Finn. You thank him for showing you the treehouse and say that you are very glad to meet him and you would love to see him again and learn about all the ways that he helps the animals of this forest and the magical creatures that live here too. Finn tells you that you are welcome back anytime, and he is glad to meet you too. Right now, it's time for a rest, and it might be time for you to go home. To get back home, back to your very own bed, all you need to do is relax, sink down into the couch and feel so comfortable you say goodbye to Finn and goodbye to the magic treehouse, and take 3 deep breaths now, in and out, in and out, in and out. You wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and find yourself comfortable in your very own bed, ready to fall asleep and have wonderful adventures in your dreams.